Hey, what's going on, everybody? Froggy Stonks here. Nothing to say. It's financial advice, entertainment purposes only. Called last week almost perfectly. 250. We got all our numbers in. We jumped up to where I said I thought we were going to go. We're getting ready to set up to get to our next resistance level, which is around 330. Hopefully everybody got in on that dip and held strong. The DD we did was solid. We got to the price targets we wanted. Perfect. So what's going to happen the next 3 weeks? Well, I've kind of come to my conclusion, and I went back, and I don't know why I ever got away from this max pain and HOILS, right? Highest open interest, lowest strike. That's exactly what happened this week. AMC closed below the HOILS mark, highest open interest, lowest strike, which was 650. Right at the end of the day, boop, we just dropped right below 650. Everybody who bought call options going into the week for lottos got completely wiped out. It was absolutely disgusting, and it was a perfect HOILS. Max pain was 650, or max pain was 7. HOILS was 650. It landed right on the button. So I went in and I checked everything out for the next 3 weeks, and I'm actually pretty happy with what's going on. Just to give realistic expectations. So we claimed 250. We closed around 267. We're still like a 40-60 split from AMC between the prices. I think going into next week, it's going to take some ground back, right? Next week, the max pain is $6, meaning if we're going to have a 7% drop from AMC, we're going to have a 7% drop with APE potentially, unless it finally breaks out of that 40-60, which I don't think it's going to do, meaning we could be closing around 250 next week, unless some groundbreaking catalyst comes out that we don't know about. You got to keep that in mind. At a constant, it looks like a 250 close next week. If there's a groundbreaking catalyst, we could go up and test 330 that week. But to bring it in, you got max pain at $6, and we go and check the options chain for AMC. October 28, max pain and HOILS are exactly $6 because there's nothing below $6 on the strike price that looks enticing enough to price fix. There's not enough premium there to steal, so it's not worth price fixing. So $6 on AMC next week. On Friday, meaning about $250 on APE, which gives us still that 40-60 range, 7% price drop. So that's what I'm expecting unless there's a big catalyst. Now, if we go to the first week of November, getting closer to earnings, we have a max pain of $6.50, meaning we're going to come back to the levels we're at on APE, right? Let's go to the options chain. Let's go to November. We got 650 for max pain on AMC, and if we look at the numbers here, 650, 7, so it's going to be $7 max pain more or less. HOILS could be $6. I don't think so. I think 650 is the mark. 1,322 open interest on the call options is not really enough for market makers to come in and price fix to steal premiums unless a bunch of retail jump into calls all of a sudden. So we'll just say $7. $7 HOILS on AMC. So if we go to the chart and we're looking into next week, right? Here's the beginning of November right here. Next week, and if we look at this pattern, we're coming up, we come down a little bit, we come up, we come down a little bit. We'll bounce this red trend line. This is our uptrend line. We're going to continue to make higher highs and higher lows, which is still a good thing. So don't be disappointed if we don't see price action next week like we did this week. Again, if there's a big catalyst, we could. But I think what happened this week is right here. If we start looking at this volume, 18 million, 12 million, 13 million, 19 million, 11 million, 22 million, and 29 million. A lot of buying pressure in there. What I think happened is these crooks did the 43 million FTDs back here at $8. They failed to deliver 43 million FTDs shares at $8. So they shorted the shit out of it. They manipulated the price down, and they covered them FTDs in at $1.50 to $2. That's what they do. That's the scam. They failed to deliver, so there's $330 million of buying action that never got contributed to the stock, which would put us around $5 to $10. So they price spoofed by doing a limit buy order, got the FTDs off the list, reset the clock. Then they shorted and they kept that $330 million out of the stock, out of the market until then, and they started covering those 43 million at $1.50, $1.48 to $2. That's why we're getting price action. So with those FTDs covered, we now have some of our buying pressure back, just not as strong. Yet, people are getting into play. You can see buying pressure increasing. The banks are doing worse. Credit Suisse is in deep shit. The bond market's collapsing. So margin calls are probably coming out pretty soon, I would imagine, especially after midterms. I've been saying for a year that midterms is going to be a big shakeup in the financial market. But if we come back down, we'll bounce our support, 250. If we hold 250, we'll bounce this trend line and we'll continue on our way up into the first week of November, where our strike is $7. Our max pain is $7, right? So if we do that, we could test 330. I think that's our next resistance is 330. That's in my mind. So next week, sideways, 250 close, November 1st, retest at 330. Hopefully Adam Aaron has a great catalyst, some good news about raising a bunch of cash, which could push us through. If he does not, and we just have a normal earnings call that's a little lackluster because of the box office, that would explain why November, the week of the 11th, we're back down to 650 on max pain on AMC, meaning we would come back down from a 330 test, back down to our 260, 250 range on APE and bounce around. Then into the next week, the 18th, we have a $10 max pain, which is pretty far out there, so you can't count on it too much. The options chain is showing a bit of movement out to that day, though, on the 18th. $10, but look at this, or I'm sorry, not 10, that's the puts, but look at the $15 strike there, 27.56. And then when we go out to the 25th, it's too far out, so we don't really have any options activity, which is telling me a lot of people are moving in and out within the first 2 weeks. So November 18th, November 11th, nothing real big going on there. Not much in the options chain. The 4th, we do have the $6.50, $7 strike. So that first week in November, going to be a little light. Second week, we go into earnings, lackluster. Hopefully we get a little bit of movement to a 330 resistance test. If we don't, we'll just keep bouncing this trend line into the week of the 18th where we'll break through the 330. We got the higher strike, we got the higher Hoyles method. And by then, keep in mind the other videos I made about the, what do you call it? Catalyst. The November 7th, the bonds, there's 3 bonds that are callable, meaning Adam Aaron can buy them back. My theory is he was selling APE, trying to get enough money to buy these bonds back to get these debtors off our back for Q4 and Q1, because we have Wakanda Forever selling out. We go straight into Avatar 2. And then in Q1 2023, we got John Wick 4 in a major box office. So if he can erase those debts, he can stop paying that interest rates. Those bonds are yielding 23%. What would happen is he would pay the bonds. The people that were using the bonds long to hedge against their AMC short, because the bonds pay you 23% and they short AMC on the side, they pay the bonds off, they'll have to close the AMC shorts because they're no longer hedged, meaning AMC is going to see price action, which could bring us up combined back to the $10 to $15 range on APE and AMC. So, yeah, I'm shadow banned on Twitter and YouTube right now, you guys. So the reason there's not many people in the chat is because people are coming back to the channel for the next 2 to 3 days, and then they get in and they blow it up and go, I didn't get my alerts. If you haven't gotten any alerts from me, shut your alerts off and then turn your alerts back on for me. I am horribly shadow banned on Twitter right now. But either way, that's what I'm thinking. Next week, a little bit of sideways action, bounce 250, AMC closes at 6. The next week after that, we move up the trend line. We make an attempt at 330, maybe coming a little shy. Earnings are a little lackluster. Hopefully Adam Aaron has a catalyst. If not, if he does not have a catalyst, then the week of the 18th, we have that $10 max pain. We have that $10 Hoyles. Big movement in the options chain for the week of the 18th on November. So freaking YouTube, Twitter, all social media garbage. I made a comment on a COVID-related post about gain of function. And after I did that, nobody was getting my alerts. YouTube, Twitter, nobody's seeing my posts. So I went and deleted it. Hopefully that takes care of it. But that's what I got for just a quick little Saturday video, guys. I mean, it was a great week. If you bought the dip, we made, 20, 30% on the upside. Coming into these next couple weeks, I think we're going to follow this red trend line. If we do have a bit of a reversal because of some bad news, this or that, hopefully Adam Aaron raised some money. If our Q3 earnings are going to be shy, hopefully Adam Aaron raised some money with some APE for a cash injection, which is going to be a really bullish catalyst. And we all know what happens when we sell new legal shares into the market. And for anybody who has questions with DRS, when you sell your shares, you go in, you make your market order, you sell, you get the price of the moment you put the order in. And then a day later, your money will be back in your checking account. There is no like 2-day waiting period for your price improvement. When you place the order, it goes in, it says it's executing, you get that price. That's just computer share going to the broker making the trade. When they say the trade's done, they come back and they say, here's your cash. Another thing why computer share does not sell APE, and this is my theory. I have been told by John Merriweather, AMC VP Investor Relations, that they have specifically told computer share, and computer share said this too, not to sell APE. They said that to computer share. The reason why is if they were selling legally issued shares of APE on computer share right now, they would be selling them for $1.50 or $2.60, right? They don't want to sell you APE for $2.60. They want to make private deals on the side with institutions to sell APE for $5 to $10. That's why they're not selling APE on computer share, because if they did, we would all be in there buying APE on computer share, or institutions would be in there buying APE from computer share. That's why they're using Citigroup to broker the deal to get the premium price, bona fide offer, which Adam Aaron has to approve, and then shares are released from computer share, which was a very smart move because institutions could have went into computer share and bought 425 million shares at $2. That would have screwed us. So good move on their part. I wish I could buy APE on there, but it's better for the company that you can't. You got to buy it through Citigroup, which there is a clause in the share offering where AMC could issue documents to its shareholders to be able to buy directly from Citigroup those APE shares. So if you haven't read the 8K, you really should. Let me get some comments before I sign off here. Yo, Legend said hedge funds used to exit in a far. Anyone else here in the chat? What up, bro? Out driving Uber, making money to put into the market Monday. Mullen, BBIG. Nice. Good luck to you, man. Good luck to you, Josh. Uber makes a lot of money, man. If you have a gas efficient vehicle, people are making a killing on it. Facebook has me so restricted. Yeah, I'm always restricted on Facebook, man. White gold coming soon. Holden, OPEX, baby. Say something they don't agree with, it's crazy. Yeah, that's what happened. I was immediately shadow banned, so I went back and deleted the tweet, and we'll see. Either way, guys, thanks for coming. Please like and sub, share the video. We got it perfect last week. We hit the nail on the head. I'm hoping going forward, everybody got a understanding of what I was saying. I think next week we go a little sideways. We bounce 250 if we don't close 250. The week after that, we make an attempt at 330, probably get rejected because earnings are lackluster. And then we move into the week of November 18th where we have the higher strike prices on the options chain loaded up. So we could see a breakout above 330 in the week of November 18th. All right, cool. Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend. Froggy Stonks out.